Day Dawns ARKS. Welcome everyone to your weekly Phantasy Star podcast recorded live on June 12th, 2021. I'm one of your hosts, PrinceBrightstar, and with me is Xance. Go ahead and say hello. Oh, Xance, are you there?
Hey everyone, how's it going?
There we go.
Sorry, I was just lagging there.
Yeah, we have to, yeah, that's kind of the word of the moment here, isn't it? Lag. Oh, boy.
Because, dear Lord, is this... we have a lot to say about the new Genesis launch here, which, yes, New Genesis finally launched. We had a bit of a delay during the initial launch period, and I believe that's what has been causing this lag this entire time.
It's possible with all the players kind of crushed together all at the same time. Especially because that was a significant delay until they actually got things running. That was like, I think it was like an 8-hour delay or something.
It was a 8-hour delay, yeah.
Yeah, 8.5.
8.5 hours actually.
Yeah. But yeah, and then finally things came up, and I went live as soon as that happened. I earlier that day, I started with PSO2, or rather PSO Episode 3 Carved Revolution, but after 5 hours, I was like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna stop there, because this is going way longer than Global ever did when PSO2 launched last year. But yeah, now the servers are up. I've gone through the story, but the lag issues are continuing to happen, even despite some maintenance that was done. So it's not a good situation that this is continuing to happen, and frankly, it reminds me of what happened way back when PSO2 launched in Japan, and there was an issue whereby all the chairs in the lobby were causing the database to hang, essentially. So it kind of has that feel.
You mentioned that before.
Yeah, so that's one of the topics for today. Of course, we're going to be talking about what our experiences with the game have been overall. We've also got an unfortunate incident that has happened on the Japanese side of things here, whereby it looks like Western players are no longer able to connect. There's also an update to PSO2 Global, the base version, which finally added in a couple of things which we had been anticipating for some time, although not everything got in from the Japanese version, so I can bring that up as well. We also got updates for Idola as well as Clementine as well, so really a packed show today. But I guess let's go ahead and kind of start with our general feelings here in terms of New Genesis, putting aside the lag for the moment here, if we could. So, Xance, why don't you go ahead and start here?
Okay, so first off, I'm a Rappy, and it's an adorable Rappy. Yes, I got the Rappy bundle thing, and I honestly thought that price point was worth it, especially with how adorable this Rappy is.
Yep, I got it as well.
But overall, despite all the lag issues, I'm really happy with my experience so far with NGS. Exploring around the world is so much fun, finding all the different materials. One thing that I didn't expect was how much of a money sink enhancing and limit breaking is. Because I've been trying to get myself up to the battle power in order to enter into the rank 2 areas and do the urgent quests, because what I'm trying to do is not use any of my PSO2 stuff, and I already know that you have.
Right. Yeah, that's one difference between us. Although I just prepared stuff for Hunter. I didn't go, for every single class that was going to be out there.
Yeah. And obviously, I have a hero, which I do have TMGs to use, but now my current TMGs I have in NGS are weaker, or actually are stronger than what I would have been using in PSO2. What I would have transferred over from PSO2. Story, I really enjoyed how the cutscenes were presented. What about you?
Yeah, I'd say, obviously we're still really early on in the story, so they're not addressing everything that I've got questions and theories about at this point. But it was a decent opening to things, I would say. I'd say unfortunately, because of how things were designed, I kind of guessed what the first plot point was going to be, which was, and spoilers if you haven't started the story yet, but this is kind of mandatory to even get in there, Aleo Town gets destroyed almost immediately. And the way I was able to suss that out was I realized that there were no vendors in town.
Yeah, that kind of made sense. But yeah, I really enjoyed how the cutscenes were done, and one thing that I like compared to how PSO2 does it currently, you have to go to the different areas in order to have the cutscenes happen. I appreciate that.
Yep.
And another thing that I did appreciate was it limited you continuing the story until you got to a certain battle power. So it made sure that you were actually ready for the next story content that's coming up.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I like that it's not scaling down to your current level like it does in PSO2.
Yeah. Yeah. The player has to put in the effort to progress the story. And that actually brings it in line with other MMOs like Final Fantasy XIV as well.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. I found the voice acting pretty decent. I know there are some people online who say the voice acting's not that good, but come on. You need to hear bad voice acting to know that this voice acting is pretty good.
Yeah, we've had bad voice acting in the past. When it came to like Phantasy Star Universe and such, there were some characters that were bad.
Oh, don't get me started with Phantasy Star Universe and pretty much everything coming out of Ethan.
Yeah. And then with in PSO2, we had Aika, who was just, can you please emote?
Yeah.
So yeah, this was at least a good start. I would say, if anything, the weakest performance I noticed, it would be Crawford. I think there's just a little bit that maybe they could be emoting there, but at the same time, that may go with the character.
Yeah, he's a serious commander.
Yeah. So, but overall, yeah, I'd say pretty good on the voices as well.
Game looks beautiful.
That it does.
Like, whenever I went back over to PSO2 blocks just to mess around in there and sort out my inventory, the difference is night and day.
That it is, yeah. Even with the updated models for New Genesis, there is definitely a decrease in, like, I don't know if it's resolution or something.
Yeah, because I would be using my NGS outfit, and even then, like, it just looks old compared to how NGS is now. Which makes sense. PSO2 is a game from the early 2010s.
Yep.
But I just never realized how different it is until I noticed the difference for myself there.
Yeah, it's, and plus you got all those other things that happen when you try going into the story of PSO2 using the new outfits. I mean, all that's going to happen is you're just going to get defaulted.
Yeah, I did notice that happen. And that's kind of a shame, but it's understandable.
Yeah. Yeah, they can't make sure that every single scene works like that anymore. Really the only thing that we're going to see are updated costumes, whenever they do come out for PSO2. You'll still be able to bring those in. It's not like they're stopping that work. But in terms of content and such, you're not going to see much new after this at this point. Lobbies are going to be
PSO2 is
set.
at maintenance mode, pretty much.
Yeah.
We've said that plenty. We've said that already. It's there for people who still want to play the original PSO2, but the main focus is NGS.
Yep.
But knowing that, I don't think Sega will, like, disable the original PSO2 for a while, because they do have it planned out to have this dual instances in NGS.
Yep. And even though we don't really cover it since it's mostly on the Japanese side of things here, PSO2 is still getting updated to this day. They just got an update with a bunch of new exchanges. Plus, they have a collaboration going on with Idola as well. So that is still going strong, and we haven't heard anything that PSO2 is ending anytime soon.
Yeah, because I was wondering what was going to happen with S.
Yeah, same here. But it looks like it's still going.
That's good.
Granted, I don't think the updated models work in that. I think you get defaulted in that case. Although I haven't been able to verify that personally yet. Been a little too busy with the launch.
Yeah. Like I said, again, that makes sense. So, with all that good stuff out of the way, why don't we... actually, no. I talked about the stuff that I liked. What about you? What was the stuff that you liked?
I like a lot of the new cocoons and tower quests that we got with the launch. Granted, I was surprised to see that they moved the Great Wall Tower quest. That was a real surprise when I walked in there the first time. In particular, there's one that actually teaches you how to glide around, and unfortunately, that one was I was hitting that one just as some lag was happening, so it gave me the opportunity to try it a few times to figure out how everything works inside of that one, rather than me just kind of speeding through it. And yeah, the cocoons and towers, they're great training tools. There is one in particular that I don't expect to ever be able to complete without a full party, because what you have to do in that one to get a perfect score is make sure that you don't kill any of the additional enemies.
I actually did clear that completely by myself.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Well, then again, you play a gunner, so... Okay.
Yeah, so it's a lot easier to single target things.
Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, there's also one that was added that has you facing off a Bujin, and yeah, it's just a great combination of quests, and I love the fact that, based on what we've seen so far, you're going to have cocoons and tower quests, but also the urgent quests can also be sort of like mini dungeons as well, particularly with the Naxvera fight.
Yeah, because I haven't done the urgents yet. I haven't gotten up to enough battle power level.
Now, you said you completed the story?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, so that one has you facing off against the spoiler warning for like 5 seconds here. That puts you up against the dragon boss that you see at the end of the chapter. So, which, yeah, that is a real fun fight. If you haven't been to that one yet. Let's see. Aside from that, just sort of the... How do I want to say this? The additional enemy designs that are available, that was also pretty nice. And in fact,
Big Froggas.
Big Frogga. Good. Plus, I also recently pointed out the Xenofalk lookalike that we had from Phantasy Star End of the Millennium in basically in those two-legged dolls. And I guess the other thing is just I enjoyed, actually, what was a real surprise. have you climbed the biggest mountain yet at this point?
I think I have. Is it the one with the big arch?
It's like the one that goes all the way to the top of the world. And there was something special that happened. Yeah, and it something special happened when you got up there, didn't it? It started playing the second verse to the new Genesis theme.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yep. Yeah, that was a nice surprise, and if you happen to make your way over to the mountain that's right next to it, it then plays the PSO2 theme instead. So, and also, they even have, like, the PSO lobby theme playing at one of the cafes right now. Or sometimes that's also replaced with Franka's cafe music. So,
yeah, it gets changed. I think depending on the current day, or, like, time of day in world, it changes. Because, yeah, I went over to that area and I started hearing PSO music. I was a bit confused.
Yep.
Which just reminds me, I still need to finish or do more of my all rares run. I've been taking a break from that recently, but I should probably get back to it after I do a couple RPG series marathons.
Gotcha. I'm trying to think of what else there is.
Anything else?
I guess that's it for the moment. I mean, of course, still a lot of mysteries out in the world. And I guess also the community aspect of it is nice, and for anybody that's not aware yet, yesterday I posted a video on my channel that over in Halfield Lake there are level 60 enemies, and a group of us just took one of them down yesterday, so you can find that on my channel here, if you're interested.
Halfield Lake, recommended battle power, 9,999.
Yeah. Yeah. And it only gave us 22 experience points.
Ah. That's a shame.
Yep. But yeah, that's pretty much all the good I've got to say for everything at this point.
Time to be negative Nancy's. What are some of the things that you didn't like?
Well,
minus the lag, because we'll talk about that lag.
Minus the lag. I would say I am still somewhat annoyed by the dynamic camera. There are some cases where I like the fact that it does pull out further against bosses, but against other bosses, for some reason, it's like it zooms in for some reason. And while I get that kind of gives like the look of the Endless Nightmare from back in the PSO days, these days it's just, why are you forcing the camera to zoom in closer than what the player typically is allowed to do? That's one of the things I don't like. I would say another one is the difficulty in finding rooms, because when you get once you complete the story, you can get into either rank 1 or rank 2 areas. That's how you can continue to level up in different areas once you've gotten through the story. So you can
4-star items.
Yep.
Which, by the way, that is the highest rarity right now, 4-star.
It is. But the problem is there's no way to like sort that list so that you get like all your rank 1 and rank 2, or rather all the rank 2s at the top of the list, and then rank 1 below those. You kind of have to just look through the room list and see, okay, which one is not full, and also which one also has the appropriate battle power for what I'm looking for. That is another thing that I'm not happy about. And then, let's see, what else is there? I would say... without talking about lag. The other thing is the game does not have a hint system for the red boxes. There's a quest that has you go out and locate 113 red boxes throughout Alio. Right now, I'm sitting at 110 of those, and I have no idea where the other 3 are. That's the other complaint I've got. It'd be nice if they give you somewhat of a hint in that they'll tell you if you open up the map and then you hit the tab key on your keyboard, it'll tell you how many collectibles are left. But that's the only hint that you got. Some of these areas are vast, and there's just no hint in terms of where these are supposed to be located, unfortunately. It'd be nice if, say, for instance, there was a hinting system that said, okay, you can find a red box in sector C2 or something like that. If you use the grid system, at least then it would narrow it down a little bit. Not all the way. You still want to, have the fun of finding these things, but at the same time, not have it be so vague that you can't even figure it out. And there's a big EXP reward tied to it as well, and I'm sure there's going to be titles as well once that comes out.
Oh, definitely. It's like finding every single red container in every single area.
Exactly. And this is just Alio. We don't even know how many are going to be in the next areas after that.
Oh, we got an entire world to explore, and Alio is honestly pretty small compared to what we can kind of see. Like there's the snow area that we see to the forward. Then we got teased about the desert area for the next chapter.
Yep. And then across from Halfia Lake is that volcanic area.
So there's still a lot to explore, and there's probably going to be even more.
Yep. So, granted, we're still a ways away from when the next when the desert area is going to be releasing. But the enemy that you see at the end of the as sort of like the chapter preview, that kind of looks like something we've seen previously in the Phantasy Star series as well. So we'll see if that pans out. I'm not going to say anything here just because that really is spoiler territory at that point. What about you, Xance? What else aside from the lag were you not happy with?
I guess the biggest one was the Meseta sinks. It costs so much Meseta in order to limit break a weapon or an armor or to enhance it. I didn't realize how much of a sink it was going to be, and the rate at which you get Meseta is a lot slower compared to PSO2.
Oh yeah, I completely agree with you there. The only reason I'm sitting on like 1.3 million right now is because I haven't touched that at all since all my stuff from PSO2 helped me out with that.
And right now I'm sitting at 20,000. I'm trying to get up to the current grinding area so I can farm for those 4-star weapons to then sell. It's just been a bit of a hassle to even grind that part because of the lag.
Yep.
Oh boy. So yeah, let's talk about the lag. Dear Lord. So I went to the forest, the Wrestle Forest, I believe it's called. Yeah, Wrestle Forest.
Yep.
So I went into that area. Went up to a group of enemies, did a charged up photon art. 10 seconds later, it registered.
Yeah, it is a significant delay that's happening.
And significant, it's an understatement.
And the impact can vary in terms of what's going to happen because
Actually,
depending
it showed
upon
right there in your video how bad that lag was.
Yeah, depending upon what enemy you're going up against, Potentially they might just stand still, or potentially they may keep attacking depending upon if their local script is still running at that point. If they're just standing around, you're basically Zogworlding them all the way down until they go down. But if they're still attacking, potentially you could get hit, and then hit, and then hit, and not have an opportunity to heal yourself up, and basically just die from taking the hits.
Yep. And for me as a gunner, it completely screws up my chain trigger, because every single hit needs to be registered in order for the chain to then go up and up and up. Well, if there's so much lag that's going on, you'll have your chain started, maybe, or you might go to start your chain and it just doesn't start until a couple seconds later. And then when you're building it, you don't know whenever you're getting to 100, or maybe your chain time runs out because of the lag. You weren't able to put off your chain finisher.
Yep. And then I've also been having an issue with all the lag. At least I think it's all the lag. I hope I'm not bugged on this. But I'm having an issue whereby I can only equip one weapon at a time, and I cannot change my sub palette at all.
I haven't had that issue, personally. But that's weird.
Yeah. It's been going on for about a day or so. That was. So yeah, it's problematic, that's for certain. Sometimes I can get like a second weapon equipped, but it like takes multiple tries. Yeah, so I'm like hesitant to even try swapping my classes if I can avoid it. The other thing is that
just a gunner currently, but I've been swapping around my subclasses, being either fighter or ranger, just to mess around with it.
Gotcha.
I'm building fighter skills trees to just be a support, or just to be a subclass, and that's pretty much it. And from what I saw, you can have subclasses level all the way up to 15, with the cap being 20.
Correct.
Wait, yeah, RMT bots are coming back? What?
Yeah, RMT bots are coming back. That's for certain.
Oh, jeez.
I saw one earlier today.
But there's no way of being able to trade with people, though.
Yeah, I don't get unless they're doing that in order. I'm not sure. Yeah,
I don't know. Huh. Plus, I don't even know how they're able to get at as much Meseta as they are now with how little is available in the game currently.
Yeah. Yeah, without trading and such, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No, it doesn't.
Unless they're like trying to drive traffic for the old PSO2 content or something.
Which doesn't make sense.
Yep. But yeah, the other thing that the lag is impacting is the PSC burst bar, in that it'll run out on you, but you also won't be able to rebuild that thing. Just because the lag is essentially causing such a delay that the kills aren't registering before the bar runs out.
And something else that the lag's causing issues with: augmenting. I tried augmenting one time, and because of how the lag was going, it just said it failed to connect and just didn't augment anything.
Right. Yeah, I haven't tried that myself, but I have at least tried using like the personal shop. There's a delay with that, and then also I can't pull anything out that I've put up. I just get an error when I try to do that. But yeah, this is not a good situation that's happening here. if we're having so much lag that it's taking like 10 seconds each time for it to resolve. And that's, I mean, even Sega has acknowledged that at this point. So let's go ahead and take this away, and let's take a look at the information that has come out. Zance, you want to read through this?
Sure thing. So, the original update was at 2:30 a.m. on the 11th. We have identified part of the cause of this problem and are taking measures to improve the situation. Emergency maintenance will be conducted as soon as the preparations are complete. We will update everyone again regarding the expected date and time for the emergency maintenance once the details have been finalized. We deeply apologize for any inconvenience this may cause. And then today at 9:15 a.m., we would like to update you regarding the efforts to improve the instances where operations become heavy during congestion. We would like to update you regarding these instances. During the emergency maintenance on Friday, we took measures against the instances where operations became heavy during congestion. We have confirmed that some of these instances have been improved by these measures. However, we have also confirmed that some instances still remain where operations become heavy. We will continue to investigate and take measures towards improvement. We ask for your continual patience while we work to improve these instances. We apologize for any inconvenience caused. Yep, it is just full laggy and buggy. Oh boy.
And this basically tells me they may not really have an idea of where it's coming from. But I'm telling you, take a look at your database, Sega. Please, you've seen this before. This is more than guaranteed something is lagging in the database, unless there's just some sort of weird connection issue happening with... I really don't even know, like Microsoft or something. But your databases would be the first place to check.
Yeah, and what my thoughts on this, what caused these lag was the delay of starting. If they were able to start at 4 o'clock in the morning or Eastern, like they were originally, I don't think this lag would have been that big of an issue, because I remember during the closed beta test there was barely any lag at all.
Yep.
So something happened when the game launched. It was probably all the congestion of people going in all at once that caused this, because there wouldn't have been as many people at that early in the morning.
I agree. And we really still don't know where the problem is coming from. I mean, I've also seen some people speculate that it's the process of transferring between PSO2 and PSO2 New Genesis that's caused the issue. And I suppose that could be possible, but we really don't have any evidence to support that either.
And also, Lord Samuel, I did hear about you having to re-download NGS. That's weird.
Yeah, that's something else we got to bring up. And this issue is happening to both users that just downloaded through Steam, and then it's also happening to users of the Tweaker as well. In fact, I lost my install to the Tweaker. I had to re-download things right before launch happened, and I was like, okay, I have a backup of all the data, so let me just copy that into the Steam folder, have it verify, and boom, it just only had to download about 20 gigs, and I was ready to go at launch.
But for me, I haven't had any issues. I still launched the game through the Tweaker. It's fine.
Yeah, so it's like randomly it's happening to people. Some people are having issues with Steam. I don't even know if anybody's tried using the Microsoft Store, although I guess that's something I'm going to have to do eventually, given some of the stuff that's happening over there, which we'll cover in a little bit here.
Yep. But also something else I will say. You mentioned how it might have been that transition between PSO2 and NGS that caused this lag. I swapped over to PSO2 to play on there for a little bit. There was no lag. And then I swapped back over to NGS, and there's a lot of lag.
Yeah, so whatever is happening, it's happening on the new Genesis side and not the base PSO2 side. So once again, that tells me it's not like the internet connection. It may not necessarily be the interactivity between the two systems, but there's got to be something going on inside of one of those databases that's just hanging. But what I will say is the issue becomes worse and worse at the top of the hour as people swap in to check if there's an urgent quest going on. And then if there is an urgent quest going on, there's like a 2-minute straight lag where I've just stopped trying to go into the urgent quest as soon as it pops up. I wait like 3 or 4 minutes first, and then I queue in. Because otherwise, you end up with teams that are not full. So yeah, a lot of trouble with the lag. Anything else you want to bring up with it?
Why don't we talk about what's going on the JP side? Because they put up an IP block.
Yeah, we can definitely
I
do
haven't
that.
tested this myself, but from what everyone has been saying in the PSO2 Discord, there is an IP block on the Japanese side.
Yeah, and this is very similar to what happened several years ago when there was a massive denial of service attack that happened in Japan. The only ones that I was aware of that got through at that time were people on Verizon for their internet provider. I don't know if anybody is getting through right now on any service, and I haven't tried it yet because I still have yet to pull New Genesis down for the Japanese version at this point.
Damn. But that's not... I understand why they're doing that, especially with a new game launch. Make sure that the servers aren't completely overloaded by a lot of international people connecting on. But with a new game launch, it's for the people who never went over to global and just stuck with JP, that must hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, my account is still over. Well, one of my accounts is still over there. But at this point, I've gotten pretty much everything I ever owned on that account over onto my global account. So even if I've lost access to it, it's not that big of a deal at this point for me.
Yeah, but for the people who have a lot of emotes, outfits, all that cosmetic stuff, yeah, it's harsh to play like something like this in a VPN.
It is.
It's not like with Dragon Quest X, that's a much more slower paced MMO, so playing through a VPN isn't that hard. But that's saying something, how Dragon Quest X is now easier for a US person to play compared to PSO2 on the JP server.
Yep. But the other thing to keep in mind also is in the Japanese terms of service, they say specifically you will play PSO2 from within Japan. So
yeah,
that's always been in there, at least starting after the first 6 months, I think.
And actually, fun fact, in the Dragon Quest X service, they do mention about playing the game in the US.
Really? What do they say there?
Basically, they say it's like if you're in the US for like a business trip or school or travel, your account must have been started using a Japanese IP. And then, yeah, basically just saying you have to start with a Japanese IP whenever you make the account.
Okay.
And then you can connect it with a US IP. Which for my account, that was the case. But I know a lot of newer people getting into Dragon Quest X, that's not going to be the case.
Yep.
But it's fine.
Yeah.
The translation project has been going extremely well now. We're actually getting a lot more dialogue stuff translated in-game. So the use of Akmon will become less and less needed.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we've talked about our experiences with New Genesis. We've talked about the lag. We've talked about the IP block. There is some other stuff with New Genesis that we need to take a look at here. So let's move on to the events and campaigns that are going on. So, for New Genesis, there is a story clear campaign. If you achieve the main task, a triumphant report, then you're going to get yourself an N enhancement success rate plus 10%. And if you achieve the main task going back, you get the Saturn earrings.
Which
and those,
I got both.
Yep, those rewards are distributed to the inventory of the character that completed the required limited time quest. Or limited time task, rather. And there's
yes, the Saturn earrings is like the Sega Saturn logo.
Yep. There's also a level up campaign going on. Achieve class level 10 with any class, you get an N augmentation success rate plus 5%. And then if you achieve class level 20 with any class, you get the stamp Sarisa Hello. And Sarisa, if you're unaware, is from Phantasy Star 0, back on the DS.
I still need to play 0. I personally own it. I do have the cartridge. It's right here in my desk of DS cartridges.
Yeah, it's a series I need to get back to.
Yeah, it's just I never fully got around to it. Oh
Well,
yeah. Also, speaking of 0, I know there was a wiki for Universe in 0. That went down. However, there is an archive or like a revival of it that someone made. Trying to see. Oh yeah, PSUpedia. So PSUpedia is back up with PSUpedia.
Huh. I wasn't even aware that it had gone down.
Yep, it did. You try to go to PSUpedia right now, it just gives you an error that it wasn't able to connect.
Yeah, I am seeing that here. That's a shame.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. But yeah. Okay. Let's see. There's also a friend request campaign going on. Players with at least 3 friends on their friend list at the start of the scheduled maintenance of Tuesday, July 6th are going to get an N augmentation success rate plus 5%. And players with 7 friends are going to get a 50-star gem ticket. And that is going to be distributed in early August. There's also a Join an Alliance campaign. For players who have joined an alliance with 4 or more members, you're going to get an N enhancement success rate plus 10%. And if there are 8 or more members, there's going to be a 50-star gem ticket as well. That's also being given out in early August. And then there is an...
that is one thing I appreciated. All the friend list and alliance stuff transferred over to NGS, so that's nice.
It did. There's also login bonus distribution going on here. So for part 1, on day number 1, you get the Salon free pass. Day number 2, an N half escape doll. Day 3, you get an enhancement success rate plus 10%. Day 4, you got a 20-star gem ticket. Day 5, you get an N augmentation success rate plus 5%. Day 6, an enhancement success rate plus 10%. And Day 7, a 30-star gem ticket. And then there's going to be one again starting the week of June 23rd. And the real difference here is that the N augmentations and the N enhancements got swapped around. So that does it for the campaigns that are going on right now. There are also some first-time login incentives as well. So, for the Xbox One, for your first login, you get a Flowin' Sword, an F-Shooter Licked, as well as a Squeaky Hammer / Knock, and 5 N Halfscape Dolls. For your first login under Windows 10, you get the Ne Claw Knocked, the L&K Combat Licked, and the Windmill Knocked. as well as 5 Halfscape dolls. On Steam, for your first login, you get the 720 Head Crab, as well as 5 N Halfscape dolls. And for the Epic Game Store, you get the Skullsturm, the Kazarodo, and the Black Bulls, along with 5 N Halfscape dolls. And this is what...
Nice little things.
Say again?
But I haven't actually tried the weapon camos yet out in NGS. Are they kind of the same in this as they are in PSO2?
I think so, although what I've heard is that they are apparently selling like hotcakes on the old PSO server.
Really?
PSO2 server.
I should probably get in on that. I only have 1 billion Meseta on there. I could obviously use more.
I just made myself broke. The last thing that I needed was the Space Channel 5 dance, and so I can now go up, down, choo, choo, choo. That was the last thing from my Japanese account that was missing. I had to pay 283 million to get that thing. Let's see. We also have an update on the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate Monthly Bonus. So whenever this comes around, you're going to get yourself 5 of the N Halfscape dolls, as well as 50 Photon Chunks. And then there's also another Windows 10 and Xbox One incentive. So after the end of scheduled maintenance until September 1st, if you log into PSO2 New Genesis from Windows 10 or the Xbox One during the campaign period, you get an AIS suit, the Rappy Schoolboy head mount, a Rappy Schoolgirl head mount, and 3 N Halfscape dolls.
Yeah, and since I don't want to install the Windows 10 version, I'm probably just going to bust out my Xbox One again and update it so that I can actually do that.
Same here, yeah.
Yeah, and it's nice that you no longer need gold to do online stuff.
Yep, I completely agree. That was a good change.
Yes. I remember why they changed it. It was so funny. It was because they were going to change the prices, and that created such backlash, and people started noticing, hey, you even need gold to play free-to-play games online. So because of all that backlash, they reversed not only the price change, but also requiring gold to do free-to-play online games.
Yeah, they stirred the hornet's nest with that one. Of course,
that's Rappy Pack. Both of us got that.
Yep. Yeah, you saw me flapping my arms around in the video a little while ago. With that, it costs $48.99. You can also pick it up from the AC shop in-game for 4,900 AC. With that, you get the N-Rappy suit, FU, and then you get the Motion Idol Rappy. You get the Motion Glide Rappy. I am keeping that on my cast for the time being. You also get the Stamp Rappy Love. You get 2 Premium Set 15 days. You get 2 Material Storage Use 15 days, 3 N Rare Drop Rate plus 50%, and 3 N EXP Earn plus 10%.
Yeah, so you also get premium for 4 months now.
You also get 30 Monotite, 30 Dual Might, 30 Tritonite, 50 Photon Chunks, 50 Photon Quartz, a Salon Free Pass, and 5 N Halfscape dolls. And you can only purchase this one time per store.
You notice how it says one time per store?
Yep.
So you could do the purchase through Steam, and then also do the purchase through AC.
Yep. But really, you would
and
do that.
And then a purchase through Epic, and then a purchase through Windows. Yeah, you could purchase this a couple times.
Yep. And then
yes,
potentially
the outfit and the motions they're tradable.
Yep. Through the player shop.
Yep.
All right. Along with that, so there was also for the emergency maintenance yesterday. They didn't change the version number on that, but they did have a few details here. Due to the emergency maintenance, the expiration of premium set extended storage 1 to 6, material storage and personal shop use, as well as the personal quarter use, expand max orders received, and bonus keys in PSO2 will be extended by 5 hours.
Which makes sense. Anytime they do that, they always extend it for the length that the maintenance was.
Yep. And they say that they fixed the issues, but they really hadn't fixed the issues.
No, the issues are still there.
Yep. But they did also have a note about the closed beta test participation rewards. They plan to distribute the closed beta test rewards to players who have logged in by July 7th with the Xbox Live account they used to participate in the closed beta test at the end of the scheduled maintenance on July 21st. So those are still coming, we just have to wait a little bit for them. Now, there are also some other issues ongoing, and those are being noted on the website as well. There is an issue right now with completing advice from Leo Lin number 2. They have confirmed cases where if the main task advice from Leo Lin 2 is completed more than twice with the same account, the reward and the displayed message do not match. The correct rewards for completing advice from Leo Lin 2 are as follows. For the initial completion, you get the End Reset All skills and a Prim Series weapon. And then for the second time onward, you get a Prim Series weapon. There is also an issue.
So you don't get a second Reset All skills pass.
Correct.
Or multiple if you have multiple characters.
Right.
Yeah.
There is also an issue where some side tasks cannot be completed. The side tasks Training a Dominator, Alio, and Exploring a Tower do not progress. They're currently working on a solution. I was able to get this completed, but the reason I was able to get this completed was by the fact that I had
already.
Yeah, I had already completed all the cocoons and towers.
Yep, same.
There's also a bug with the personal shop right now. Players are unable to purchase or withdraw items from the personal shop. They have received reports that players have been unable to do this since the emergency maintenance that completed on Friday, June 11th, and they are currently looking into the issue. Also, there are instances where it becomes impossible to progress through the prologue. If a player talks to the NPC Gorora and selects the Arrest Sounds Good option, they may be unable to progress through the prologue.
Which is the solution, that's the option you need to select in order to actually progress the story.
Yeah. So, not sure what the player's supposed to do in that case. I didn't run into trouble with it, but if players are having trouble with it, that's obviously going to leave them stuck there. There's also an announcement here. They've investigated and confirmed an issue whereby the enhancement data for NGS spec items are being reset, and that happens anytime you lock or unlock an NGS spec equipment item from the storage menu while in a PSO2 block, and if you stealth or unstealth an NGS spec armor from the storage menu while in a PSO2 block. So basically, don't do that while you're in a PSO2 block, you'll be fine. And then there is one more bug here, and this is kind of a significant one. End Meseta may decrease when teleporting or moving to an area. And they have nothing really to tell us at this point. They're investigating what's happening, but they're just asking for patience as they work on it right now.
Yeah.
So
I never noticed that happening because I never paid attention to that even happening.
Yeah, so remember how you were talking about things are a money sink? That might have been more of a money sink than you realized.
Oh no, like enhancing is still a money sink.
It is.
It absolutely feel less.
But you might have had even less than you were supposed to work with.
Yeah, maybe.
I think the safest thing for players to do, at least for the time being, is if you're selling anything to like the shops or things like that, make sure that the money actually shows up in your inventory and then move to the next area, especially with all the lag that's happening right now. All right, so that's pretty much all the news that's going on for New Genesis right now. Was there anything else that you wanted to say before we moved on here?
Nope. I've said all the stuff that I've wanted to say so far. I like New Genesis. It's just these issues need to be ironed out.
I completely agree with that.
I stopped playing and just swapped to playing other games for the time being because of how bad this lag has been. I want to get every class to 20 before they increase the level cap, but it's just hard to play it.
It is, and I completely agree. Although before we get that increase, we're gonna have Braver and Bouncer out. Keep in mind.
Which I will be getting those to 20 as well.
Yep. Would not surprise me if when those release that everybody is using those classes.
Oh, I'm going right back to Bouncer. That's my true love.
All right. So moving on from New Genesis then into Idola. Starting off here, we did finally get an update from Global. On the 10th, they noted that there was going to be maintenance from basically midnight to 3 a.m. Pacific time to prepare for new content and optimize the gaming experience. As compensation, 300 free star diamonds were given out. And then after that, they received reports on the shop/top-up cash crash issue, and developers are looking into that. And then they followed that up saying the payment issue is now fixed. And then they also note, as a small gift to the players, they know that that everybody wants Giselle so bad, and the top-up crashing the game is simply unacceptable. So to make it up, they distributed a gotcha ticket to everybody. And may you have the publisher's blessing on that single ticket. There was also a weekly preview given out on the 7th for the new character Giselle Noises, and also a new event, Descent Theater Delusion. And then they also gave out a small tip here. They know that they're excited about that players are excited about the coming update. They've also reset the first top-up reward and introduced Best Offer Stella, along with a 5-day daily pack promotion. And they say they're spoiling players, whereby if you buy 5 daily packs out of 7, there's going to be something else given out as well, apparently. But they don't go into detail what that bonus is here. On the Japanese side of Idola, though, the 2.5 anniversary is still going on, and we have a Flammy fighting administrator character available now here. So that is a neutral soldier with a critical hit bonus on that. And for the first 2 rounds of that, once you get to step 5, you automatically get the character, and then after that, you just have to get lucky on the gacha. They also have a character achievement symbol, Flammy Impact. When you apply a support effect to your allies, also increase the target's attack and defense by 2 or 5% for 2 turns. They also have a potential ability. In addition, increase the target's speed by 5% for 2 turns. There's also a reprint limited breakthrough quest. So take part in the forbidden area of the Dreadfall Tomb Wind. And as you go through the different stages of this, you're going to get several rewards. Keep in mind that this is a highly difficult 10 stages, and there are no continues inside of here. But getting up to stage 9, for instance, will give you 1,000 star diamonds. There's also a reprint on the Descent Quest Hydra Diablos Water. That is going until June 15th. There's also a quest weapon symbol, Balor's Gaze. When you apply a status effect, decrease the enemy's HP by 7 or 10%, with a maximum of that up to 10,000 HP. There's also a potential ability, increase the chance of inflicting status effects by 50%. There's also a quest soul symbol, Mysterious Snake Hydra Diablos. On the turn after a reverse rush, inflict unleash inhibitions on enemies and increase enemies' elemental requirements by 1 or 2 for a turn. Potential ability can trigger twice per quest. Of course, you get your typical assortment of first clear rewards from that. And then there's also the Forbidden Area Assistance Star Festival Wind. This is a gacha where you can pull on characters that are wind-based. There's also a step-up symbol gacha available as well. That's going until the 13th. And then there's also a 2.5 anniversary Platinum and Limited Pack. So for 9,000 yen, you can get yourself 7,500 Star Diamonds, 25 Platinum Dolls, 250 Rainbow Experience Books plus 3, and 2.5 million Meseta. And then for another 9,000 yen, you get much of the same, except you get 25 Limited Dolls instead of the Platinum Dolls. And then lastly, there's...
Have the money. That's it.
Yep. And lastly, there's a...
I don't like mobile games.
Yeah. Lastly, there's a Star Diamond sale. So for 2,940 yen, you get a combination of Star Diamonds that equals 4,000. And then for 9,000 yen, you get a combination that will give you 12,200 Star Diamonds. So you do get a decent number of Star Diamonds out of that, but I mean, only pay that if you want to. Generally, as we've always said, we generally shy away from those.
Have that money to spend, like that's another thing. Don't get into gachas and start spending a lot of money when you don't have that money to spend.
Right. Yep. All right. And briefly, as I mentioned before, there is a collaboration going on between PSO2 Ne and Idola right now. So basically, this is a Hydra collaboration chip fate branch. So with this, you can get the 12-star Matoi Idola, the Luther Idola, the 12-star Popona Idola. In addition, the highest rare 13-star Liz Grips is also newly released, as well as the Anja Voki and the PSO 20th Anniversary chip Matoi 20th Memorial is also available. For the Hydra collaboration chip fate branch, Hydra collaboration chips can be attribute converted from the chip release menu as fate branch. Every time a chip is released, it changes from low chaos to chaos low, and when the chip is released, attribute conversion, it returns to the original chip. In some cases, the attribute of abilities and linked skills change depending on the chip release attribute conversion. Even if you release the chip, the value and maximum level of the ability effect will not change, and the bond gauge is held for each chip and is not shared. Scratch delivery period for this is from June 9th until June 30th. Not sure why this is saying May here. And yeah, so here is the Matoi Hydra. And then you got the Luther Hydra as well here. And the Popona Hydra. Along with Stella.
actually played PSO2S. I had it whenever I was playing on the JP server purely as an easy way of getting AC.
Yeah, I started a series that dropped off, and I got to get back to it. But part of the issue with that is the thing was just constantly crashing for me, and I got to figure out some way to get around that issue before I can start that back up again.
Were you doing that on BlueStacks, right?
Yeah, I was using BlueStacks. So one thing I am considering, although I'm still not anywhere close to this, but whatever phone I get next, I'm probably going to make sure that it supports HDMI out on it.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, you get the Stella Hydra as well as the Rosalind Hydra. There's also the Jinna Hydra. And then the Liz Grips is right here. As well as the Anjavoki. And then here is the Matoi 20th Memorial. Looks like there are also some other chips here. Off-Steer Saver. And the Congo chip. And the El Curia. Along with Judgment Hearts. Yep, so PSO2S still has content releasing for it. We just don't know. We haven't heard anything that this is going away anytime soon, but since this is purely on the Japanese side, we typically don't cover this, but given the collaboration, we did want to at least mention it today. Alright, lastly today, we do have an update from Phantasy Star Universe Clementine. Do you want to take this here, Xantz?
Sure thing. It's just a small update. So, issue with bots giving mythical 51% items should be fixed, and everyone that rolled 1 got their item returned to 50%. Also, the remaining items that weren't prepared from grinding in the past have also got repaired. So, there you go. Also, SPF bottoms have been added to the 3rd floor colony clothing shop. Very important, right there.
Yep.
Shide Masaki board now only requires 2 Neptuline instead of 7. Idel Arrow now has the correct sound effects. All TCSMs have been given a standard 10% SE boost. Any TCSMs with an SE boost already now are now 10% higher. Also, the end of Luminous Collusion is coming up, and I just wanted to give people a reminder to please have space in your shared box for your rewards. If you don't have space, then I can't give you the item rewards. Love you.
Yep, once again, that coming from Marmy.
Yep. So yeah, Luminous Collusion is almost done, and have you been able to try it out there, Bright?
I did, but the problem is I kind of hit that. I started it when I was kind of out of the range for it. There's a weird spot between the A rank and the S rank where it's just like, it doesn't make any sense to run the thing compared to other missions for experience. So it's like, that's something that they need to watch out for the next time they do one of these events. But I did at least get, like, I think I got, like, 5 runs in on it.
Nice.
What about yourself? Were you able to get yourself further level up?
I actually haven't gotten back on yet. I've been meaning to, it's just other games have been taking up my time. I've recently been getting into a SMT MMO called Imagine through a private server on that called Reimagine.
Well,
So
like
a lot of my extra time has been spent doing that with 2 other of my online friends.
Gotcha. But like they said, this thing is going away, so maybe this is the time to do it, given the unresolved lag issues for New Genesis.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, Ryapuchu is saying that they know that server.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it. I'm making a mage character. And I've been having a lot of fun. A lot of fun with it. Yeah. It's a grind, and the movement and gameplay is definitely screaming mid-2000s free-to-play MMO. But it's fun.
All right. Was there anything else you wanted to bring up here today before we close things out?
Nope, I think we got everything then.
Alrighty. And so that brings us to the end of this episode. On behalf of Xance and myself, thank you for joining us today. Day has dawned. Have a great day, everyone.
Got it.